I've studied over 6,400 cold emails and found 3 secrets that I now use regularly to book hundreds of sales calls. After analyzing and reflecting on this data of winning campaigns from some of the biggest companies across dozens of niches, it has opened my eyes to the winning lead generation formula for booking more of these calls. So whether you're trying to get your first client or you are a company doing millions of dollars a month, the best cold email strategy has these 3 things. Let's start off with deliverability. It's super important that you focus and make sure that your deliverability is optimized. Why is this? Because you want to get in the inboxes that you're actually trying to reach. If you don't have a good deliverability structure, people will not get your email and therefore it's a wasted effort. Deliverability directly impacts the success of your campaigns, and if it doesn't reach the inbox, all of your other metrics pretty much don't matter because they're never going to exist. You're not going to get responses if you're always going to spam. Another part of deliverability that's good is it creates and signals to ESPs or email service providers that you're trustworthy, and it enhances your sender reputation over time. Also, it has a direct link to your ROI because when you improve your deliverability, it means emails will reach their intended recipients, but also it leads to a higher engagement and ultimately a better return on investment. If you're doing cold emailing, you do have to stay current because what worked 5 years ago may not work now. Email service providers are continuously updating their algorithms to combat spam. They don't want their users to have a bad experience. And there's also a rising expectation that you have an authentication process for your domains. We're talking your DNS records, SPF, DKIM, and DMARC. These need to be in place to show your email service provider that you're not a spammer. So if you ignore this, essentially you're wasting your resources. So focusing on your deliverability is a huge component of cold emailing because you want to make sure you're getting your ROI. Also, it does damage your reputation. If you have an existing business and you don't make sure your deliverability is correct and you damage your sender reputation, this can impact when you're interchanging with other existing clients or internally. Now, how do you increase your deliverability? Well, here's a few simple things you can do. The first thing is clean your email lists regularly. Data ages quickly. So a list that you might have bought 5 months ago and you're finally getting around to using it, maybe half of that list is no longer relevant. That's why it's important to use tools to clean up your lists. There are plenty of them out there. Instantly has an email verification process that you can use to help reduce the amount of your bounces going to the wrong email address or going to email addresses that don't even exist anymore. Another thing you can do to increase your deliverability is optimize your email content and structure. So this is like using engaging subject lines and making sure that the emails are mobile friendly, not having a ton of HTML, making it super simple, trying to reduce videos, images, links. All of that will help get your email to the ideal client that you're trying to capture. Now, another part, if your emails are simpler, the chances of people getting them and responding to them is much higher. The more complex and the more overwhelmed they are with images, links, and all that, they're not going to respond, but also it's going to go to spam. Now, when it comes to authenticating your emails, there's lots of forms out there. We have lots of information on our site too to help you set up your SPF, DKIM, and DMARC DNS records. These help verify and legitimize your domains to improve trust with your email service providers and the recipient's email service providers. It's a way of showing that you're doing things correctly. Once you've done these type of things, if you want to help monitor the health of your bounce and spam rates, you got to look at the key metrics that you can follow. For example, your bounce rates, your open rates, and spam complaints. If you monitor your performance and key metrics on Instantly, for example, for this campaign. So if my open rate is 63% and then all of a sudden it tanks to 10%, that's going to indicate to me that I've been blacklisted or something's changed. Now, another thing you can do to help increase your deliverability is segment your audience. Now, what I mean by this is you got to tailor your message to different segments of your audience based on their behaviors and performances to improve engagement and to reduce the risk of being marked as spam. What I'm talking about here is if, let's say, you have a database of 1,000 people who are business owners that you know need your product, if you reach out to them every month for a year, the chances are high they're going to say, hey, this guy's a spammer. I don't want to hear from him. I'm going to mark him as spam. So that's why it's important to segment when you reach out to people so that you don't exhaust them with you consistently soliciting them. It's recommended to wait 3 to 6 months before going through a list again. So let's touch on embracing the philosophy of volume. You can do good hyper-personalization at low volume and get great results, but the biggest companies, they're always sending a large volume. It's a proven strategy, and for them, it's a matter of getting the ROI that they need. Large corporations consistently leverage cold email campaigns as a cornerstone strategy for their sales teams. It's an indication of its effectiveness overall in business objectives. If the large guys are doing this and they're doing it not that well, but here's the thing, they're still doing it and they're still growing that business. So it's something that we need to embrace and implement, even if you're a smaller guy. Now, scale, it equals opportunity. And what I mean by this is for these larger companies and for smaller companies, scale is synonymous with the opportunity. The volume of cold emails sent directly correlates with the increased chances of generating leads and conversions. Let's talk about this tangibly. Let's say if you send out 5,000 emails and you get 10 clients from that, then you know if you send out 10,000 emails using the exact same campaign, you should get 20 new clients. And so if you have a working, consistent campaign with cold email, you can easily scale it and get the same output, as long as you maintain your deliverability health to make sure everything's good. Another aspect of volume is it creates sustained engagement. And what I mean by that is by maintaining a high volume of outreach, these large companies, they're able to consistently keep their pipelines full, ensuring a continuous engagement with potential leads and clients. Now, while it's important that you use volume, not only generate sales through this, but you can get your name out there. There's visibility. You can get brand awareness and brand recognition. Also, a higher volume of emails increases the likelihood of your message being seen and acted upon. You might be wanting this large company as your new client, and if you reach out to everyone in the organization who potentially could be a decision maker, the chances of the sale happening is higher than if you just reach out to one person and they say no. That's why aggressive volume can sometimes be a statistical advantage. You're increasing your odds of success. Now, it does do brand awareness and brand recognition as well, because if you reach out to 10 million people every year, you're increasing that engagement of people realizing you exist and what you offer is something that they might want. Now, Google is cracking down on volume. They're trying to increase the positive experience for their users. So I just wanted to go over with you a few of their new rules to help you if you are really going to start implementing volume. Now, the first part is authenticating your email. So you shouldn't need to worry about the intricacies of email security standards, but you should be able to confidently rely on an email source. So they're requiring that when you send significant volumes to strongly authenticate your emails following the well-established practices. So that's the DMARC, the DKIM, the SPF. You also need to enable easy unsubscription. It needs to be a one-click unsubscribe. That's simple. Another thing you can do is have people just respond with stop. They're requiring that large senders give Gmail recipients the ability to unsubscribe from commercial emails in one click, and that they process unsubscription requests within 2 days. They're cracking down on the fact that, like, if someone doesn't want to hear from you, you need to give them the really easy capability to say no. The last thing is ensure that they're sending wanted emails. Nobody likes spam, and Gmail already includes many tools to help reduce this, but now they're going to start monitoring your spam or your bounce rate, and it needs to be under 3%. That is a new filter as well. So this is why it's very important for you to clean your lists and to make sure your DNS records are up to par so that you keep those rates low. So that being said, you can use Instantly to bypass and protect yourself to make sure you're doing okay even with this ever-changing landscape. You can use the unsubscribe link within our platform to easily give people that unsubscribe option, or you can actually have them reply with stop or not interested, and you can have that automatically unsubscribe them as well. Another part is you can use Instantly to do smart segmentation and timing. You can make it act more like a human. You can also use it to break down when was the last time you reached out to someone. You can say, oh, I reached out to all the CEOs in the manufacturing niche back in last September. Okay, it's been 6 months now, I can do it again. It's a way to track that. But you can also intelligently do this by using high high engagement rates. You can see what's working best, who's actually responding, focus on that, and make sure that things are going well. Also, you can use Instantly to track your metrics to make sure that you're not getting in a hard spot. If your open rates just instantly tank or your bounce rate goes through the roof, you can pause things and make sure you're not flagged by Google. Good email copy. This is something that takes a while to get used to, and if you're new to the space, give yourself some grace. But overall, templates don't work. And why that is because they lack personalization. Generally speaking, they're pretty generic. They're overused. Other people are using them, which can flag you by blacklist as a spammer because other people are actually using the exact same content. And one size doesn't fit all. So you can take a template that you were like, oh, this is pretty good, and you can actually convert it and develop it into a better email copy that achieves what you want. But just know that a lot of email copy that is out there, a lot of templates that I've seen on the internet, I'm very unimpressed with because they are so generic and they don't really help you understand what the psychology of what the receiver is thinking. They don't help you get in that mindset. And that being said, when you're writing email copy, it's so important to really think about the person that's receiving the email. What are they thinking? How are they feeling? When do they usually check their email? Do they check their email? Why are they checking their email? Are they putting out fires? Are they receiving sales? Really get in their mindset. When you're writing email, you got to think the first impression matters so much. So your subject line and opening sentence, they got to be intriguing and they got to resonate with the person. They have to be respectful of their time, but you also have to intrigue them to engage with you. There's so many components to this, but you got to also offer some value up front in the sense of you got to talk about their pains, their needs, or their objectives and goals. Make this about them. They don't care who you are. They care about themselves. And so how can you help them improve their lives or improve their business or improve their reality? That's a huge component. Another part is, let's say later on in the campaign, you have a 3 to 5 email campaign and people aren't reciprocating. You can use social proof and reviews, for example, to create trust. So you can show reviews, you can send video links to reviews, you can show case studies. That's a good way to build trust and say, hey, like what I'm promising you that I can do for you, this is what I've done for other people and I want to do it for you. And lastly, when you think about the psychology of why do you respond to emails, it's that call to action at the end. It needs to be crystal clear, and you don't need to have multiple ones, just one. And that really makes them want to say, yes, I'm going to do this. Like I'm going to respond and I'm going to engage with this person. Clear calls to action are highly important. Really think it through from beginning to end. So I'm going to show you an example of bad email copy and good email copy. So let's start off with the bad here first. The subject line is 5 words with an exclamation point. It says, best roofing services available now. Starts off, hello, are you looking for roofing services? We provide the best roofing services at competitive prices. Our company has been in the industry for years and we guarantee top quality work on all our projects. Don't miss out on services that everyone is talking about. We offer a wide range of services and have the best team in town. Whether you need a new roof or some minor repairs, we can do it all. Why wait? Contact us today and let us take care of your roofing needs. Now, just to be honest, if I got this cold email in my box, I wouldn't have even opened it. But if I had opened it, I would have looked at this and been like, this is the most generic, worthless email I've ever seen in my life, and I would not respond to it. So moving on, I'm going to use an example for you of a copy that I know works great. Subject line is past hail. If you're unfamiliar with the roofing industry, hail creates a lot of work for roofers. Hey, first name. So I'm doing personalization. I'm showing I know their name. Just reaching out to see if company name faced any issues for the recent hailstorm, and then the signature. If you can see here, the first one is all about the roofing company. It's all about them. The second one is all about the person they're reaching out to. Hey, did your company face any issues? It has nothing to do with, hey, I'm a roofing company, I'm here to fix all your problems. No, it's, hey, do you have a problem? And if they say yes, then you can say, I would like to help you with that. This second one, the psychology is really thinking about the individual rather than thinking about the seller. It's all about the buyer, not about the seller. The software that I use to maximize deliverability and send thousands of cold emails a day is Instantly AI. It is the best cold email software out there, and check it out in the link in the description. Also, click on this video to learn more on how to use cold email to get more clients, and I'll see you in the next one.